Good evening, friends. I hope y'all are having a fun, gosh, September 8th day. Can you believe it's already September? This is a true story. I will be 50 in 1 week. Just throwing that out there. Hey, Kathy. So, I had another challenge for myself tonight. I know sometimes I use sets that are like obviously like my favorite or catch my eye immediately, and then sometimes I just set out for a challenge. And so tonight, that's what I'm doing. I am in full admission that I have always shied away from this type of a set. I would call these fussy coloring sets, gorgeous coloring sets. My friend Elizabeth Mayfield Hart is a master at coloring these sets. And I'm being honest, I feel intimidated by those sets. I've never I can't even think about coloring one of those. But Feels Like Home is free with a minimum purchase this month. So I got it and I love it. It's so cool. And my tip to you is don't be afraid to try it. It's just paper. It's just stamps, okay? It's not gonna bite you. If you don't like what happens, do a different color. Do something different. Start over. So, yeah. And I watched hey Susie, I watched a video by Patty Bennett with this set. And actually all the colors I got straight from her. I just sort of followed along with her while she was crafting. And I loved it. So that's what I'm using today is the Feels Like Home stamp set. So we're going to get our color on. We're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 20 different blends colors. So strap on and get ready. Now, no need to write them all down. If you go to, hey Barb, if you go to the link that's in this post, this Facebook video, and click shop here, it lists out all of the blends that I used to make this project. Maybe missing soft suede because I just pulled that one. But other than soft suede, they're all listed. Okay, so just relax, sit back. Yeah, fussy coloring. I mean, it's not awful coloring, it's just fussy. And I'm being honest, but it's so worth it. In this instance, it is so worth it. So let me just flip you guys around into my crafting zone. Thank you, Kathy, for sharing. You're the best at always remembering that. I'm going to put y'all, I feel like I'm doing this opposite of the way that I usually do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and, completely jar you. Oh, well, I can't. So this could be interesting. I don't know if y'all are seeing this upside down or not. Okay, fun coloring. Yes, Barb, that's right. We gotta get out of our comfort zones sometimes and just do it. Okay, don't be scared of it. Just do it. It's just paper and it's just markers. So, no worries. Now, what you're gonna need to start with is a piece of, I'm going to cut down this piece of, I like to use thick white cardstock, but honestly, either one is fine. Thick basic white or regular basic white. I have a little bit of a preference when I blend of using thick basic white. So, up to you. Now, I am going to get this camera down as far as I can go since I'm coloring. And okay, but I'm going to show y'all this first. Feels Like Home is free with a $50 purchase. If you choose 6 blends, that's only $54. 6 sets and you'll get this stamp set for free. You can get a starter kit and get 13 sets of blends. And I'll zoom out here just if you want to pop down these dimensions. Thick white, 5 1/4 by 4. Basic gray, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Score at 4 1/4. Cobbler is 4 1/2 by 3 1/8. This will all be on my blog. In Good Taste designer paper, 5 1/4 by 4. And inside you'll need just a piece of white. Okay. Now let's get down to business. I'm going to get this as far down as I can and still not be hitting it with my hand. Now, this is a big stamp, okay? You've got just a few sentiments, actually some really pretty sentiments, especially that one. I'm going to put my sentiment on the inside, so just telling you that. But this is all one stamp, nice and big. If you don't have an E block, you need to get an E block. So that's a pretty big block. It's not real common, and when I have a set like this that's this big, I tend to just stamp it from above, ink it from above, rather than try to bang it onto the ink, if that makes any sense. So get it nice and inked. Now, I would love it if you like and share. You know, I always will send the card to someone who likes and shares the video, so you could be the recipient of this gorgeous card. So we're just going to stamp that. Now, you want to start off with a really good stamp. If it's not good, then you can just do it again until you like it. Like, I got it a little too inky there. So if we're going to do all this coloring, then we want to make sure that we start with the best situation that we can. And now I see why Patty started with her card already. She started with her white already cut. Okay. She probably worked a few times to get just a really good one. I will tell you, sometimes I ink with gray when I'm blending, and basic gray, and it didn't work. So I like to tell you when I do something that didn't work, just so you won't try it. It's just not dark enough. You really need the full memento. So memento black is what you need when you're using your blending markers. Okay, that's much better. We don't have as many black blobs there, so awesome. Now, sometimes I like to keep my stamp set next to me so that I can kind of see where things begin and end in these real detailed coloring stamps. Thank you, Susie. Okay, let's get started. Now, let me just show you all these blends that we're gonna, oh, there goes my trash. All these blends that we're gonna use. All of them. Okay, so we're gonna start with the red. Now, who doesn't love a red door? Am I right? I never had a red door, but I think they're really cool when I see them in the neighborhood. Let me see if you can see this and this at the same time. How about I put this here? I want to get this in the best light. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in with a layer of, I'm going to use light Poppy Parade. I'm going to use Poppy Parade and Real Red. Let me tell you about our blending markers. They come in pairs, okay? And I've got this light, this Poppy Parade dark and light, Real Red dark and light. Guess what? I can use Poppy Parade with one Real Red. Like, you don't have to have all the same colors families. Okay, so we're going to actually use 3 markers here, and we're going to use light Poppy, dark Poppy, and light Real Red. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is come in and put a layer of light Poppy Parade on this door. Now you see there is some greenery here, so I'm going to try to kind of go around that greenery, and you can choose there's 2 sides to every blending marker, the thin side and the thick side. Okay, awesome. On this one, since I'm coloring the whole door light Poppy Parade, then I'm using the thick side. And there is a little doorknob here, so I'm going to go around it. Don't get too in your head about it. There's also a door knocker, so I'm going to go ahead and remind myself that there's a little door knocker there. But other than that, I'm coloring this whole door with a light layer of Poppy Parade. Now when I get over around this wheel, just want to be careful not to go into the wheel. Alright, and then we've got, oh, I'm going to have to be careful to keep it on the screen here. I'm going to get Poppy Parade right in here. Alright, and like so. And then this goes in really quickly. You're just getting a layer of Poppy Parade on this door. Now, when you think about blending, you're dealing with lights and darks. You're trying to make a difference in the light and the dark. And, oh, you like green doors? Those are cool. So you can make your card with a green door. I think a blue door would be pretty too. Tell me what color your doors are. My door is brown. I actually love my brown door. But if I were ever to change it, I would probably change it to red. All right. Now, I'm going to come in with dark Poppy Parade. And I'm going to go with the smaller end. And I'm just going to go right around this edge. Okay, there's an obvious edge to this stamp set. I'm going to pull it in down here. All down this side. Definitely up here. So think about if the light were coming in this way, pretend like the sun is over here, then where would your shadows be? Okay, so you're gonna have a shadow coming into this inner like area, a shadow coming into this inner area, a shadow here, shadow down here at the bottom, and I think we're good there. Now we're going to actually go in with our our light real red, and we're going to give one more darker layer there. Okay, so we're really accentuating this door. We're going full on this door. To really bring out the lights and the darks, we're going to make it pop. And I decided to leave this outside of the door just white. It's like a gorgeous white. Then what you can do is come back in with your light if you want, and you can just like fill in a tiny bit if you want to kind of smooth it out, but not too much. Just get your poppy and pull that in. And that just kind of blends it in a little bit. Ooh, wee, that's pretty. Do y'all agree? Oh, hey, Michelle. I'm glad you could join us. Let's see, yours is white. Yuck, no imagination. Yes, Barb, I know. Sometimes we just deal with what we deal with. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'm going to remember not to go above the 5 1/4 mark here, and then I won't lose you. Okay. Now, don't get in your head about that, okay? So what? It's hand-colored, and by the time you're done, no one will notice. Here's what's funny. I didn't even color in the branches of my trees, and I didn't even notice, okay? So, as you're coloring, like, don't get frustrated, because once it's all done, if you have any little imperfections, they just fade away, all right? So, don't frustrate yourself. Just keep coloring. All right. Now, I'm going to do the greenery next, and I am going to choose some greens. Now, I want to show you a little tip that I learned from Patty as I was watching her video, and that is, it's not obvious sometimes what color our blending markers are. We may be coloring with them and be like, okay, for instance, this is Granny Apple Green, and this is Shaded Spruce. Well, and here's an example. Look at all these. They kind of look the same. These are Night of Navy, and these are Misty Moonlight. But if you pulled them out of the box, how would you ever know, right? So, one tip that she had, which I think is brilliant, is make a color swatch, okay? So if you're not sure what color it is, get a piece of basic white paper, and like, here's your poppy, here's your real red, and just experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment. And then grab an ink pen and write what it is, you know, light poppy, dark poppy, real red. Okay, so make yourself a swatch, and then that way you'll know. Oh my gosh, you guys, make yourself a swatch: light poppy, dark poppy, real red, so that you can know exactly what you're dealing with on the color schemes. Okay, so I'm going to work with my greenery here, and I'm going to go with the light grainy apple first. And I am just going to go in, and I'm going to fill in, look at this stamp set. Alright, so I'm just going to fill, I feel like this is all greenery. I didn't really see any flowers there. There are some flowers up here, so we're just going to color in this bottom part. This is a little pretty, just green plant, and I'm just going roughly in and putting in a layer. Now there are some flowers here, so I'm just going to fill in this lower section with the greenery. Leave some room for the flowers. Now, you might be vexed about the tree. Just come in and lay in some color. Like, don't feel like you have to get in every single leaf here, okay? That would take forever. I mean, I suppose you could do that, but that's not how I would do it. Just get some green in here. Like, don't overthink it. So all this is light grainy apple. And, oh, there's some greenery down here in that little pot. And I believe that's all the light grainy apple we need. Now we're gonna come up, oh, hi, Ellen. Let's see, Ellen said, I love this stamp set. I really like the colors you use. Thank you, Ellen. Ellen is my husband's mother's cousin. It's very special to us. All right, now you're coming in with some just darker grainy apple, okay? And you're just getting in some darker of it, okay? There's nothing like magical to this. You're just getting, it just pulls in some interest when you're using the greenery, okay? And then actually I'm gonna come in with Shaded Spruce. It's really dark green, and I'm putting in like the smallest little, I'm gonna say polka dots, but obviously we're not leaving it that way. I'm just dotting it in, and we're gonna come back with our grainy apple light and pull it all together. So now you're just gonna come in and go back over all your greenery areas, and that just pulls all that darker green, but it gives it just a little variation, and so it kind of makes it fancy. And that's what we're going for, because we're fussy coloring, right? So we're just pulling in all those little polka dots and things that we added. I'm gonna pull this into that door, see if there's anywhere else we need to mess with. I think we're good with the greenery. Now, we're gonna come back in with our dark, I'm gonna go dark poppy and fill in these red flowers are in this bucket, and there's some pretty red flowers here. Okay, so I'm just simply doing that, and that's it there. How are we doing so far? We good? Okay, now This is really neat. I would have never thought to extend these bricks out further than the stamp set. So now we're gonna get super artistic, but in a very easy way, so don't stress. We need our light smoky slate. That's really the lightest gray that we have. And I am going to first color in where the wall is, obviously, okay? So we have this gray brick wall with our light smoky slate, and I'm just gonna come in and color it where it obviously is, okay? Basically, where there's bricks, there's wall. I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna kind of carefully get it next to my pretty flowers. Fill that in. If you're using like some other markers besides Stampin' Blends, if you ever get one in your hand, you'll never use anything else. These, I call them like, they color like butter. Like the color just wants to go on the paper, and that doesn't leave any funky marks where you're coloring. It's just so gorgeous. It makes you feel fancier than you actually are. So, and they're $9 a pair. So we're not breaking the bank with our blends versus some other coloring markers that are on the market. All right, now remember, we're gonna see through these spokes. So I know that feels a little, oh, I went too far. Feels a little weird, but we are coloring in this area where the spokes are, and then I have to think about this for a second. Coloring in here and down there. No biggie. We're gonna come back in and color that with blue in a second. Okay. Get up in there. Are we good? Good. Just looking over here. Oh, all right. So let me show you how we're gonna do these bricks. We're gonna fancy up this wall, and we're just gonna make our own bricks. Okay, we're just gonna come in with our smoky slate and just make some bricks. They're kind of stylized. They're nothing like fancy. It's hard for me not to be like uniform with them. But think about how they would lay, you know, overlapping each other. And we're not, I know that seems really dark, but we're going to do something to them in a second. So we're going to use our color lifter. All right, we're going to put one brick, a couple bricks up here, and then we're going to move on to this area. This is fun. See, we're like Bob Ross tonight. We're not playing around. We are just having fun with our coloring. Okay? Now, I think I'm good here. I might just give one up here for good measure so it's not looking so uniform. And how are we doing? Okay. Went a little too far up there. Sorry. Hello, Jewel. This, oh, Barb, you're so funny. It is easy. I was so nervous to try it. And, you know, sometimes watching someone else do it and just doing it is like what you have to do to get the courage, okay? So just get your markers out and do it. And then I want to see, I want you to post it on this page and show me that you're not scared of markers and paper, okay? Remember, no one's judging you. If someone else judges you for your coloring, then that's just rude. They need to go back to kindergarten. Everyone colors at different levels. There's always going to be someone that can color prettier than you, but should that keep you from coloring? Absolutely not. So don't be intimidated. Just do it. All right, so we have our wall. I'm just coming in between these branches. They're really branchy and styly, so don't even get in your head about it. Just kind of fill it in. All right, and then we're just gonna make some more bricks over here. And actually, for the bricks, I like to use the thicker end so that it just feels a little bit more flowy. to go a couple more here. Let's do a few up here. And how about one right here? Are we good? Oh, we're gonna have one here. I mean, you could just go on all night, right? So bricks, bricks, bricks. I did a few more bricks over here and I like it. All right, now what we're gonna do to lighten up these bricks is a little tricky trick that Patty showed us. And it is using our color lifter. So you're just simply gonna go over the gray, just the gray, very rough with your color lifter, okay? Just the bricks. And you just wait. It doesn't happen immediately, but it happens eventually. Don't get into your green areas and your red areas, all that. Just go over your gray bricks that you created, and they will gray, they'll blur out. See how that happened? Wow. Barb said, if they judge you, just send them any more cards. That's right. Oops. I love you, Barb. You and I are just two peas in a pod. If they judge you, don't send them a card again. Absolutely. Okay. Now let's see what's next. Let's color our branches of our trees. So I used, I was going to use, I remember now, I was looking for soft suede for you guys. Sorry, see close up of my arm. At least it wasn't my armpit or something. Dark crumb cake. We'll just use that. Alright, so we're just going to go in here where there's branches with our thin end for sure, okay, because we don't need that much. And we're just going to fill in these tiny little branches. They're almost like threads. So just the very tip of your marker is all you need. You can see why I didn't even notice that I didn't do it on the last card, because it's just very thin. That's it, really. Filling in the brown. Okay, that was quick. Now let's do our bike. Now you look on let's make our swatch, because here's what we have. We have Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy. And I'm gonna let you guys pick, so be watching. This is dark navy. This is light navy. Oh my gosh. Dark navy, light navy. I'm just driving y'all crazy tonight, I bet. Light Misty Moonlight. And then we have dark Misty Moonlight. So see, interestingly enough, so these two look very similar. These two are very different. So we really have to do our swatches to know. So this, you guys tell me what you want. This is dark navy. This is light navy. This is light misty. And this is dark misty. All right, whoever said it first is what I'm gonna do. Let me see. I gotta pull the comments down. Thanks. Move it a little. All right, you guys. Misty Dark, says Terry. I'm going with Misty Dark. Okay. So, I'm going to take the tiny end here, and I'm going in to my bike, and I'm just doing the bike itself, like, you know, I'm basically, we're not gonna worry about like how a bike actually looks like. I guess that could be silver. I'm just doing everything that's in this area of the bike blue, and there's actually like a little, you know, fender on the bike here. I'm gonna go back you're a biker, you might do it differently, but that's how I'm doing it. Now we need to come in with our, we need a darker gray. I'm looking for dark smoky slate for, yes, for the tires. So we're gonna come in here and go with our tires. Could also use light basic black. I love blending markers. Oh, you know what? I'm looking on that bike. I think that also has a, yep, it's got a fender going that way too. So again, sometimes you have to pull out your stamp set and see, oh, there's a fender going all the way around, and it goes all the way around there. So let's pull this around this way, and this goes around this way. Now that's so cute. All right, our wheel, and then our other wheel, tire, actually not wheel, is going with gray. And then I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do what I would think is the metal parts of the bike with the same color, because I've already used smoky slate, and I'm gonna give myself a dark gray bicycle seat. Whenever we were stuck at home forever in COVID, Hope and I got bikes, cheapy bikes, and we had so much fun riding them. So I hope you, if you're able, that a bike can give you joy. All right, now our bike is done. Now we're gonna go to our pots, okay? And we're gonna use some interesting colors here. We're gonna use pale papaya, light pumpkin pie, and light Cajun craze. So we're just gonna mix it up here with our colors, okay? And this is kind of a terracotta. We're gonna have like a little terracotta thing going on. So I'm going to start with my light papaya and just put in a layer of light papaya on. And I'm just doing these all the same. You could mix it up, but I'm doing these all the same. So it can be terracotta or straw, however you want it. However you want it. It's just barely showing down here. Okay, now we're going to come in with our pumpkin pie. And I'm just going to make a little layer around. Give it a few swatches there. Around. I'm not going to outline every single thing, but give it just some dimension there. And remember, our light is shining from up here, so just get your shadows going the same way. So there's your pumpkin pie, but then you're going to go in with the Cajun craze. It's going to be so cool. And we are going to blend that out, don't worry. If you're like, okay, that doesn't look good. I know, it's coming. Just be patient. So I was talking about this before anyone came on, but my 50th birthday is next Wednesday, and I think we're going to celebrate it on Thursday with my family. So I may actually be on Facebook Live. I will announce. I'll just see what evolves, but expect to see me at some point next week. I'm just not exactly sure what day. All right, we're going to pull in our pale papaya, and that is going to really blend this out, okay? So we're going to pull it, blend it around, okay? See how those thick lines are just disappearing? Or those, let's see, those like boundaries between those two colors are just disappearing. I don't know, I feel like almost those are my favorite part of the project, the little pots. All right, how about that? Isn't this looking great? So even with some imperfections, because absolutely I'm not perfect, this is looking good, okay? Because you just keep adding, and things just sort of, if you do something that catches your eye that you don't love, then you can just ignore it, because you're gonna have so much else going on this that no one's gonna pay attention to that right there once they see the whole card. Wow. Okay. Now, let's do a yellow doormat, because why not? I think this is a cute little house in Nantucket or something. So we're going to come in and color our doormat with daffodil. So I started with light daffodil, and there's a tiny bit of it over on this side. And then we're going to come in with our dark daffodil and get this edge, this along this bottom, and definitely back here. Okay, and then we can come back in, pull that color through with the lighter marker. So those are daffodil. What else am I missing? I mean, I know I'm going to do the front walk, but I'm just looking at the rest of the project. I did put some red flowers in my flower basket, so let's just add some. Honestly, you can just go in and create them wherever you want on this type of a deal. That's better. Okay, now I also don't like that. I need that wall to go right up to that. So let's pull that in a tiny smidge. Okay, how's it looking? Let's do our walkway. Now we're going to go into the brown territory. We're using the Crumb Cake Dark and Crumb Cake Light, as well as our light papaya. Okay, so we're going to pull that back in to our sidewalk here, because we just don't want it to be blank. So we're going to start over here and just pull in some of this. This is such a warm situation we got going on here, so we want to use that. But let's go ahead and lighten it out a little bit with our crumb cake, or darken it up. So we're really just kind of coming in and following those lines. We're not even going to fully color back and forth. We're just filling in the lines. And then just a few of them are going to be dark crumb cake. And this back here is going to be dark crumb cake because it's way in the shadows. And then we can come back in with our pill papaya and really kind of pull that through so it's not so liney. So we were doing lines, and then we're just gonna kind of pull them all together with this pretty color, and it just blends in with those browns, doesn't it? It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, is that not gorgeous? Gorgeous. So don't be scared to be an artist. Hey, Khaki. The door windows are not colored. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Barb. Yes, I knew there was something I was missing, and you guys tell me, and there's something else I remembered that's missing. Okay, see, and that's the thing, is we get so excited. Now, let's go and do this, the wood on this window. I'm just going to do it dark crumb cake. Oh man, I should have done the pool party first. But whenever glass is on a card, and I'm actually going to do smoky slate here on this door knocker and this doorknob. Okay. But we're going to use a light pool party for the windows. Okay, so come in with your light pool party. I'm so glad you noticed that, Barb. Again, it's not too late to share the video. Show it to your friends, and whoever shares the video will be in a drawing for to win this gorgeous card. So we're filling that in with light pool party. And then we're just going to use our dark pool party. You see where these lines are? It is telling you what to do. It is saying, come in and put some dark on me. So easy. Ta-da! All right. Let me compare these two and see if I left anything out. I think I'm going to put in a little bit more Walkway over here. Oh my gosh, I think that was light pumpkin pie. Nope, it was pale pie. It just hasn't dried yet. When it dries, it'll dry a little bit lighter there. Get some color there. I think I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of smoky slate right in this corner. Right there. You could mess with this all day, right? All right, now let's make it into a card. First, I'm gonna put all my blends back in. The starter kit gets you what? The door window, let's see. The starter kit gets you what? I'll show you. Cheryl and I will watch it Friday. Awesome. Okay. So let me squeeze out here so we can put this card together. The starter kit is if you want to become a happy shopper, which I believe you already are. But if you're not and you're watching this video, then when you get a starter kit, you can choose 13 sets of blends for $99 because the blends are $9 each. So I did the math for you. You can choose 13 sets, and I bet you could get all the sets we used tonight. Or if you are already a happy shopper, then you can just get 6 sets of blends and you'll get to $54, which means you can get the Feels Like Home set for free, okay? Because it is in our fun little celebration catalog, which this doesn't have much longer. It goes to the end of September. And this Feels Like Home set is free with a $50 purchase, okay? Gorgeous. You can see what they've done here with different colors and watercoloring. You don't even have to color it if you want to make that card. And just to show you where the blends are, our old catalog had them like on a separate page, but it's kind of hard to find, except what's cool is they're right by their colors. So these are our color collections, okay? We have brights, regals, brights, neutrals, regals, and subtles, okay? And the blending marker is right here along the bottom line. So Poppy Parade, Melon Mambo, Further Flamingo, and you're like, wait, what's wrong with Mango Melody? Not every single color has a corresponding blends marker, and what we've learned is it's just because they can't. They would if they could, but some colors just did not lend well to blending marker formula, okay? And then you've got the color lifter is somewhere around here. It must be, I don't know. It's on the link that I gave you in this video. Cool. All right, now let me show you some things, some cards that I always like to show y'all something pretty. Remember last week we made this box and this cute card, all right? And I told y'all I was gonna have to make it in all different colors. Well, I did. Here's one with gorgeous grape and all the purples, and I'll put all these on my blog with what colors I used. That'll publish probably tomorrow. Pool Party with the blues. We have the pinks, and we have some greens, okay? So I just wanted to show you that. I was very proud. I went in there and really worked that over for you so that you could see some cool things. I haven't finished the card yet. Goodness gracious. All right. So what we're going to use is a basic gray. I really liked the gray in the bricks, so I just wanted to bring the gray all the way home. And so, and isn't this In Good Taste paper perfect? It's in the annual catalog, and it has all the neutral stones and woods like as in like wood grains. But here we're using the stone, and I love it because the bricks are going in the same orientation as the bricks that we drew. So how cool is that? Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy, and believe it or not, we're going to run it through the emboss machine. Okay, so let's get it in the deal. So we're going to run this through our emboss machine, and we are going to use the rectangle, stitched rectangle die. So it's the perfect size for this card. I'm like falling over here. I'm going to use this one. Okay. It's a little nerve-wracking after you spend all that time to cut it with dies. But don't worry, it's going to work. Just center it. Ta-da! Isn't that gorgeous? It's just the perfect frame. Okay. And we're going to get our... Now all I did is I just measured what was a little bit bigger than my cutout here, and it turned out to be 4.5 by 3 1/8. And I did not use any dimensionals when I created this card. I just thought it was so stunning that I wanted it to all lie flat so that you didn't have any like distraction away from the blending. It's probably one of the only times I didn't use dimensionals on a card. I just wanted it to be how it was. Okay. Do you love it? I love it. Actually, I used the light navy there, and I used the darker there. And so you can see, even with my red door, turned out a little bit different. So each one is going to be different. And thank you, Barb. I appreciate it. You're so sweet. All right. So just to recap, Feels Like Home is free with a $50 purchase. If you choose 6 sets of blends, you can get this stamp set for free. If you get the starter kit, you can get 13 sets of blends. The link to order each of these items, the papers, the inks, the blends, are all in this post right above the video, or below. I guess it'll be below. And here's the dimensions. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, and we will see you next week.